Alrighty, welcome in Play-by-Play podcast with you. Once again, we missed last week, but we are back big and better, ready to break it all down. Super Rugby Finals has begun. Plenty to talk about. Semi-finals coming your way. We've got European action as well. Tough one for the boys in QPR. We're going to break it all down alongside Jordan Knack and Tyler Campbell. Hello, boys.
G'day.
Yeah, apologies for not being here last week, guys. I'm not going to point fingers, but I'm going to look at the problem.
Here we go.
But me and Geordie were here for half an hour laying on the cold concrete.
Yeah, we had a lovely nap on your driveway.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Sweet. Things to do for the pod, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
About time you contribute to something.
Without us, you wouldn't be a podcast. You'd just be one man talking.
We're a team, mate, all right? Great to see you both as always. Weekend check-in, are we okay? How's morale?
Next.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I obviously didn't play, so...
You tell the people what happened to you.
Mate, so I had work on Saturday morning before the game.
Also had your back frozen on Tuesday laying on the concrete.
Yeah. And then, I was just running around at work and sort of slipped and hurt my back. And I was like, oh, it's a bit tender. And then throughout the day, it just got worse and worse and worse. And then got to footy, had probably, I reckon, 40 minutes of treatment from the physios. Feeling a little bit better. Went out to warm up to just see how it went through a first pill and just brought me to my knees. And
To your knees.
yeah,
Dropped you.
yeah, absolutely dropped me, took the wind out of me. So yeah, it wasn't an ideal start for the boys. I think not that my swap would have disrupted anything, but yeah, just sort of started a snowball effect, I think, which wasn't good. But
Yeah, it
here
was
we
tough. I looked up and I was calling it. And I was like, where's Geordie? And I didn't realise. And Paul LD, did he play full twos as well?
No, he was fresh, which
Okay.
made me feel a little bit better because I knew he wasn't going to be in dire straits. But yeah, it was a good stint from him. I think first week back after that head knock, and he went all right.
Yep.
Had to play a 480.
Yeah,
Yeah, tough.
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, they're dropping down like flies. Anyway, we'll get to that later in the show. The show goes on with that one. Always, boys, eye-catching moment. What caught your eye over the weekend, boys?
I guess I don't have to say it, but the Blues. I've kind of said if they make that 6, you don't want to play them in the first round, and happened to be against my Chiefs, and obviously not ideal conditions, but they just grinded that win, and when they needed to come away with points to sort of secure the game, they did, and got to give them credit. Now they get to go and give themselves another week, alive of the talent they have. They can go down there and upset the Crusaders. So Blues would be my eye-catching moment, but other than that, I just think another eye-catching moment will be how good the Crusaders were.
Sharp. Geordie?
I'm going to stick it back on Australian rugby. I think the Brumbies, I think we picked it last week, us two.
We did. It was a tough trot for this boy. We'll get to it
I'm
in a
pretty
sec.
sure you picked the Hurricanes, mate.
No, he's on the Brums.
Yeah. No, they were good. I think we've been speaking about it quite regularly, about how they just get into their little washing machine and stick to it. And I think I actually even saw something today from Noah. It was a quote from Noah, and he just said they've sort of found their game plan and it's not special, and they just grit things out and they don't need to change it. And I think it was exactly that. So, yeah, it's good from the Australian rugby perspective to have one team in the top 6, but I think the way that the Brumbies have been going previously, like they definitely deserve to be in it, just the way they grit things out. So,
Yep, lovely. On that tipping front, 1 from 6, brother. Tough one. Tough round.
Yeah, well, I actually stay loyal to my team. I didn't go Crusaders win and
Very
cover.
defensive.
I'm not defensive. I'm just going to say a point. I thought you were a Reds fan, mate.
I am.
I did see this and have to ask.
Yeah, well, for once I didn't pick with my heart and I was right.
Yeah.
So
you jinxed them.
I went 4 from 6. You went 2 from 6 in the end.
did I?
Yep.
That's not great still.
Better than old mate.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Wait, hang on.
here we go.
Did the Brumbies not cover?
No, they did, bro. They did. That was his 2. Well, no, you got 3.
Yeah.
3.
See, this prick, mate, you got to be on him. He's a cheater. None of the comp. This is about the 4th time we've caught you out for this.
I'm a good talker about it, math. All right, let's go to...
Good at his own math, though.
Yeah.
Good at his own math.
That benefits him.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
that's about the 3rd time in many weeks, mate.
Okay, anyway, mate, you still went 1. All right, mine was some stats, boys, for the regular season, what we've seen up for the competition. Match attendance up by 10%. Viewership in Stan Sport, 27% growth. 13% on free-to-air. Same for Sky Sport. The third of the country in Fiji watched the Drua games, and 43% of games were decided by a margin of 7 or less. So look at the product overall. It's a much better year. Tyler, how would you sort of surmise it?
Yes, I would like to see what those numbers actually were compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because I don't think the numbers were great last year. I know it's been treading back on the way up. Obviously, Super Rugby had a bit of a hiccup with COVID and losing the South African teams. So it'd be interesting to compare those numbers to what they were 10 years ago before making a assumption of rugby's treading in the right way.
Year on year.
Yeah, look, it's obviously a huge positive, but I don't want to dive in and say, rugby's back, because I don't think it's back in this country.
No, it's not, but it's better. Oh, that's good. Quarterfinal recap, boys. You mentioned it. The Crusaders, 32 points to 12. We're talking about that in our group chat. You said it perfectly, Tyler. The Reds pack got dished up.
Look, I picked the Reds. I thought they've lost their last 3 quarterfinals. They might have something in them. They just, even at 12-0 at halftime, I wasn't sitting there going, the Reds are in this game.
Yeah.
I thought they just got beat up in their forwards. I thought both Tate and Tom Lyon, I know when your forwards going backwards, it's hard, but their kicking was awful. Really put the Reds under pressure. And those are sort of the core skills. You know, they're meant to be the 2 guys we're expecting to be 9 and 10 at the moment for Aussie. And it kind of scares me a little bit that they can't do the skills you sort of need your 9 and 10 to do well when under pressure. And that's that kicking and putting your team in the right parts of the field, regardless of how your forward pack's going. So that was a bit of a worry. And when the score blew out, you kind of just were waiting for it to happen, I think.
Yeah.
I think the Reds were just holding on to everything they had, and then it finally sort of boiled over. But shout out, I thought Josh Flute was, you know, a one good player for the Reds for someone that's missed a lot of footy.
Geordie, well publicised about Tate McDermott's box kick issues. Again, it wasn't great. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I think, as Tyler said, even as a kicking 9, when you've got a pack that's going backwards and you have an unsteady platform, it does make it a bit difficult. But in saying that, yeah, I don't think he's a bad kicker overall. I think he definitely had an off night, and every player has that. But yeah, definitely put the Reds in a position where it was really hard to sort of make things happen from that. So yeah, I think it's probably a night he doesn't want to sort of dwell on too much, and I don't think he will just because the player he is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So goes on.
yeah, you can't sort of slate him for it. It just happens, I guess.
You mentioned the Crusaders' line speed, the pressure, scrum dominance too.
Yeah, and I will, like, I think Tate put a lot of pressure on them too. I know he likes to run, but when you've got line speed like that and there's not enough, you can't half take a gap and then try and give to your forwards. Because Ethan Blackadder was absolutely smoking people because he was just getting time to get in their face. And it's sometimes you just got to, I guess, okay, I might not need to run here, and just chuck the ball early as you can and get that go forward first, and your opportunities will come. Because I just think the Reds were abysmal. I don't think there was any point of that game where I thought they were going to score a try, and then they sort of got some late.
Exactly right. Last shout out for this one. Hayden Sargent, a man on the ground, a roving reporter. 6 degrees. It looked freezing. Like
pouring with rain.
Yeah, like, man, how do you play in that? You know, but yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I don't know. I didn't live there.
Both you.
Only you'd know, mate. I played in that stadium.
Yeah,
But
it was really tough conditions, and I think it was big shout out to Sarge for actually going out and braving the weather. Like if I was over there and that was the conditions, I probably wouldn't have gone, to be honest.
He was great. He messaged me. He's like, mate, do you want me to get some stuff for you? I'm like, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
shout out to Sarge having a missus he's never going to actually get to hold a win against.
Yes, yeah. I didn't realise Fliss was a bloody Crusaders fan.
Yeah, loves it.
No good.
Yeah.
No Bledisloe.
Yep, tough.
He's got nothing going for him at the moment.
Anyway, all right, let's go to Waikato. The Chiefs 19, the Blues 20. 83rd minute match winner. Tyler Campbell, come to you.
Yeah, another wet game. Bit messy. Wasn't probably the most exciting game we've seen, especially from two sort of teams that look to attack a bit, and sort of came down to the forwards. I think if it's a dry pitch, we probably see a couple more tries scored. We saw the Cortez Ratsama drop. We saw the Bowden Barrett drop of kicks. But yeah, you just got to credit to the Blues for sticking in it. They've been a team that's lost a lot of close games like that this year, and they managed to sort of stay in it and come away with the win when they needed to. But across the board, it was probably a pretty average game, I thought. But it's sort of sometimes what you got to do against a team like the Chiefs. If you can disrupt them, it sort of works in your favour. So, and I think it's a good wake-up call for the Chiefs too. I expect a big performance from them this weekend.
You said if anyone can beat the Chiefs, it was going to be the Blues, and they turned up. Geordie, those bomb tries, you guys see all these? Clark, Ratima, Barrett, some clangers in there.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
I don't know, something in the water, I guess. But yeah, I think the conditions definitely play a massive part in that. And I think, as Tyler was just saying, like, especially with the Chiefs, you kind of just have to disrupt them. But I think at the same time, the Blues, when they get going, you kind of need to do the same thing for them. And they were obviously trying to disrupt each other enough that it was sort of leaking over into individual skills, which made for a really tight game. And it was a good game for the pointy end of the season, not in terms of the quality of standard, but again, as Tyler just said, it's just going to put a lot of pressure on the Chiefs moving forward to put a performance out, which I think they will do, and they'll be super dominant.
Just on that, I want to get your opinion. Obviously, a bit of chat about the finals format. Like, they've lost this
Horrible.
week. But, like, are you happy they to get the home final again this week?
Look, it kind of makes a decent reason for them to get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Because when I first read the finals format, I was like, what's the point of even trying?
Yeah, being 1 and 2.
Like being 1 and 2. And so I definitely think, yes, it is worth them getting another home semi because they were the top team all year. They probably don't deserve to drop down to the 4th rank and be playing the Crusaders down there.
Yeah.
I think they should have just gone semi-final.
1-2 week off. Is that what you're saying?
I would have gone top 4.
Okay.
Got an 11-team comp.
Yeah.
Why do we need over 50% of teams in finals? We'll make the rest of the year a bit more interesting. Like you have the Blues who lost more games than they won, playing in a semi-final this week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they've come good right part of the year,
Yeah, but like you shouldn't reward a team for coming good back into the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand it because they obviously booked for 3 rounds and they want to have as many finals games as they can for revenue and whatnot. But it just seems like a lot of teams having teams with losing records just doesn't seem like the way to go if you want to get more viewers.
I think changes will be made next year for sure. Let's go to the final game. The Brumbies 35, the Hurricanes 28. Back and forth contest all night. Tom Wright was strong. The Hurricanes, they didn't play badly at all. I didn't think. But yeah, Brums get it done.
Yeah, I think I said it just before. That the Brumbies just have found their way to play, and it's just to take teams to places they don't want to be in, and just keep them in there, and just roll them around, and just sort of try and out physical them in those little contact areas, and they've done exactly that. Like that's been their bread and butter all year, and it's obviously still working for them. So I don't feel like they have to change anything moving forward. And from all accounts of all the media that's coming out of it, they're not looking to change anything at all. So,
Who impressed you, Tyler? What did you make of it?
I didn't actually catch too much of this one, but I thought Tom Wright was strong again. Obviously, he's put his hand up easily to be the best sort of fullback in Australia at the moment, and wearing that 15 jersey for the Wallabies. But yeah, it was kind of, I don't know. I don't think it was the Hurricanes' best. I think they were playing really well, and kind of didn't show up on the weekend. It could have been the cold because it looked cold.
Yeah.
And
it's like gross cold as well.
yeah, they sort of just didn't. The Brumbies, I think, knew they were getting into a physical battle and looked like a team prepared to go the distance with them. So good on the Brumbies. They're obviously strong at home. Obviously lost a couple of weeks ago there. So yeah, their real test obviously comes this week, going on the road.
You know what would have been nice? Alan Alatoa scored and Slipper. Imagine them in the multi in the weekend.
Yeah.
2 prop tries.
Yeah.
I don't think Alatoa would have paid that much.
True, but Slipper would have juiced it
Slipper
up.
would have been, a good $10, I reckon.
Something,
But I reckon
yeah.
Alatoa would have been 5.
Yeah, you can score them. Just do you see that try, the set piece with Valentin inside to Tommy Wright? Do you see much of this? Thoughts on that? Or just, I guess the shape and how they've done that?
Yeah, Brumbies have been real good at it the last I'm going to say 8 years. Like you can see they have a big focus on their set piece strikes, and they're very detailed with the way they run it, and they've come off with some great tries. I think they're the best in Australian rugby at the set piece area, both dominance and line out and scrum, but also how they attack off it.
Impressive stuff. So that's our recap. We'll get to our picks and preview for the semis very soon. But it's kicking off in the north as well. We've got some finals time. So we've got our 2 boys here to do a bit of research and give you a breakdown what's happening across the north. We'll go to Joy Lanac first with the English Premiership. We had semi-finals on the weekend, mate. What happened?
So we had Leinster and Bath, 21-16 to Leinster. It was actually a really good game. Like I haven't watched much of the Northern Hemisphere club games recently, obviously just because time difference and all, but you can really see the difference in the way they play. Like they're a lot more set piece driven and big carries and especially in this game, like they will take 3 every chance they get. And they did that. My standouts for that game was Katter at 13 and Adam Radwan as well. Did you watch this game? Did you see?
I saw the highlights, yeah.
Some of the tries that Radwan especially scored, he scored 2. One off a bit of
I think it was the crossfield kick you're talking about?
that crossfield kick was unreal.
Andre Pollard, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, like he scored one just before that, where I think it was like an 11 play, and they came back to him on the short side, and he danced around I think 4 defenders and pretty much hurdled a bloke to get over the line. So he was really outstanding. I thought Izzy Preece played really well.
Yeah, scored that match winner at the end.
Yeah, really good line. Like I think he's a player that Australian rugby, we seem to forget he's kind of a product of. Like he's been gone long enough now that he doesn't really come up in any conversations. But
because Michael Checker obviously coached his side as well.
Yeah,
Wallaby coach.
Yeah, but his form is still really good, and obviously he's doing that in a position where, in this sort of game for that sort of comp, and he's still standing up. I think it's a really, really good for at least the image of Australian rugby. But the thing that sort of caught me out about that game was a contentious call right at the end. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
So Freddie Stewart, I think it was like 82nd minute, and they were sort of 12 or 13 phases in, and Luke Cowan-Dickey was run down the sideline, cut back in, and they both dipped at the same time and pretty much went head on head, like tackle. Luke Cowan-Dickey lost the ball. Ref called full time. Then it went upstairs to TMO to see if it was going to be a foul play. And they spoke about it for a minute, and then they were kind of like, "No, it's all good." They both dipped, but I think in any other game, and probably especially in the Southern Hemisphere, that sort of tackle gets blown up, and it's probably a yellow card. So that could have swung
Back in their favour.
the whole result of the game because they were pressuring them.
Were they both dipping?
Yeah, they were both dipping.
You mean Northern Hemisphere would call that? We're pretty good at letting the dipping go.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I reckon they're worse than us.
You reckon?
They're giving away penalties.
Yeah.
They're way worse.
But it was they were both dipping, but they went full head on head.
Oh, justice for rugby.
Yeah.
Great call.
This guy.
No, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I agree with you.
This is just another
Yeah.
variation of the sternum law.
If I ran head first into you and you hit your head on my head, well, like it's...
I'm back in your melon any day of the week.
Yeah, you got a fat head. Anyway.
What happened in the other game? Bath and Bristol.
Yeah, Bath-Bristol, 34-30 full time.
34-20 or 34-30?
30.
Oh, was it that close? Shit, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you want to do this? Because you just get butting in on
No,
it.
I'm just adding conversation, mate. Don't start
it's
me.
a conversation point.
Yeah, you should try and get involved. Thanks.
Pat Lamb, coach of Bristol, I think was a bit of a fun fact. Obviously, it's quite well known, but I think it's still good to see him kicking around and doing really well. Second to that, Bath's fields, I've said it for years and years, so nice. Like just the setup with the town behind it. It looks like proper English footy. But anyway, Ellis Genge, outstanding again as always. He's actually putting on display not only his physicality side, but a lot of his little ball playing stuff. Like he set up a really good try. They were good. I think Finn Russell was really good. Just kind of directed a game again, a very northern hemisphere sort of game. A lot of kicking and possession and set piece stuff. But yeah, Bath were too good on the day. I think there was a couple of really good players that stood up from both teams. But yeah, it sort of leads for a really interesting final next week, being Bath v Leinster, which I think in terms of what you're looking at that competition, like it's got two almost opposite ends of the spectrum. So Leinster's sort of traditionally that kind of just almost like our sort of Brumbies, like they want to take teams to a dark place and grind them out with set piece and big dominant mauls, and Bath, mainly with Finn at the helm, wants to play flashy rugby. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty good game. I don't know which way it's going to go, but yeah, it looks for a good spectacle. So anyone who's up and wants to watch some footy, get into it.
Finn Russell versus Andre Pollard. That's worth a ticket in itself. All right, let's go to United Rugby Championship. Tyler Campbell, what happened in their semi-finals?
First one, I'll be quicker here. Leinster and Glasgow.
Yep.
Leinster were just too good. I don't think Geordie were ever in the game. They got straight up dominated, and big shout out I think to Jamison Gibson Park. Easily the best player on the field. His passing, especially in that 22, he really takes control of those forwards when they're getting into their work, and his ability to rip a pass across the front of 7 dudes to someone running a line. I think we saw Sheen score. I think we saw one of their midfielders score. But yeah, the Leinster were just too good and looking very strong going into the final this week. And then on the other side was the Bull Sharks. So obviously a little local South African derby, quite tight. Some good tries were scored, but it was only 25-13, so the Bulls scored a late one to sort of secure that. But yeah, I'll be honest, I watch these games and obviously a lot of hype around how much better the club rugby is there.
Yeah, what'd you make of that?
I don't think it's that much stronger than Super Rugby, if it's stronger than Super Rugby. Yeah. And you obviously saw Beaver come out on his podcast the other week saying the Chiefs would destroy those teams. I don't think he's far off. I think they actually compete.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see because it's kind of interesting watching that there's so many styles of rugby going on. It almost clashes a little bit. Whereas Super Rugby, Aussie's got their style, New Zealand's got their style. I think the game flows a lot better compared to what I was watching over there. And obviously they have a big emphasis on set piece and things
Rolling
like
balls
that.
and shit, eh?
But yeah, I reckon they might struggle with the pace of Super Rugby, but I think we'd also probably struggle if the game was slowed down and we were stuck into a set piece battle. So can't wait for this World Cup coming
Yeah,
up.
well, we got to answer those questions. On that game, 48,000 in the house in South Africa. So they love their
Doesn't
footy.
surprise
over there.
me.
So good, eh? All right, and I was on the top 14 boys over in France. Round 26 rounds. They play a lot of footy over in the French. So their finals round was determined. Now they've got the qualifiers this week. Anonu and Fenganuku, pardon in the centres.
Yeah.
18 years difference. See that?
Yeah, when Nonu debuted for the All Blacks, Lester was 4 years old.
Isn't that just unbelievable? Eh?
That's crazy.
Weapon. So this week we see Toulouse and Bordeaux. They finish 1 and 2. They get the week off. So we've got the qualifiers, Clermont up against Bayonne. So Manu Tuolangi's in that side, you'd know. And then Toulon versus Cass in the other qualifier. Jack Goodhue, you two would know. Remember that old name? He's going around and
Northland boy, played for the Satyrs.
mate, great centre. He's carving up for Cass as well. So that's this weekend. I'm a Toulon man myself, so hopefully they can get it done. But big news, boys. La Rochelle's been knocked out. First time they haven't made the top 6 in a long time, which means Will Skelton is done. Will we be seeing him in the Lions?
Nah.
You don't reckon?
No.
No chance. Okay.
Look, the preference he said is to pick Aussie players. I don't think Aussie locks have been a problem.
Yeah.
I think Frost has been great. I think Tom Hooper's played here and been great. Who else is normally in there sort of locking stock?
Got Jeremy Williams.
Jeremy Williams, the one from the Force, he's been great. Like,
Yep.
I don't think they rush Skelton back
Yeah, okay.
because I don't also know how he's going to be. 2 years from now, is he going to be in contention for the World Cup?
Probably not.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, there we go. So, round recap. News and notes for you. This is plenty of headlines across the weekend. Big one I'll start with, boys. Riko, the villain or the promoter. We saw straight away on Instagram, you should have killed me when you had the chance. He said, the Joker strikes again. We love this.
Yes. And to all you people out there that are commenting and saying all these things, well done. Because you are biting and we are finally seeing a character and you're growing the game. So if you're going to sook about what he's doing, keep sooking because this is what we need in our game is some personalities and people growing. You might not like his personality. Well, suck it up because we see it in the NFL and that's why they're so big. You see it in NBA, that's why they're so big. It brings eyes to the TV and I'm just really enjoying someone finally giving it back to people who think they can sit on their couch and actually compete with professional athletes.
Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. I love it.
Yeah.
Geordie, same vein. You agree?
Yeah, much. I love it. I think I love a bit of... the thing I really like about it is he's doing it tastefully, I guess. Like, he's not calling people out just for the sake of calling people out and using...
Yeah. He's not going.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything to begin with. It was him celebrating after they won.
Yeah.
And regardless if he was the best player on the field in that 80 minutes, he still played 80 minutes of Super Rugby. That is more than the people complain, oh, what did you do? Why are you celebrating? The ones that come and commenting. And he says, oh, after we get knocked out, come down and train if you want. Because I feel like a lot of these couch potatoes who think they know rugby would struggle.
Of course they would.
Just in a normal training session with
Yeah.
them. So it's good to see someone finally calling out these wannabe keyboard warriors.
And he said, he goes, oh, come down to go down and play club rugby. Go get involved if you want to be a hero.
And don't get me wrong, we need these keyboard warriors because they're the fans, they're the ones watching the game.
It's all engagement
But
now. Yeah.
as you said, the promoter, it gets more eyes because now who's going to tune in and watch Riko hopefully lose this weekend? All these people that are hating on him.
And you know better than me, but I feel like if Riko loses this week, I feel like he owns it though. Like he's not going to, he'll land on his sword. If you're going to be a hero and do that, you got to cop when you lose. And I think he does, personally. What do you think?
He's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
but obviously he's not someone that likes losing.
Yeah.
So he's not going to sit there and
Yeah.
probably bite his tongue. If people start coming at him, he will respond again. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes, looking at the sort of All Blacks picture moving forward as well.
I like it. Just some news, a bit of transfer news, a big one today, boys. Mamapi returning home, Moana Pacifica, big signing. You love this?
Love it, and I don't think he's going to be the only one.
Okay.
I reckon we're going to see 3 or 4 in the next
Well, you
few
see
months.
how many boys they dumped?
Yeah, they've let 15 go.
Yeah.
I'm expecting people like maybe a Ben. Oh, he might be on contract.
Give me some names here,
Shannon
Tyler.
Frizzell off contract.
Okay.
Someone was saying Ben Tamiafuna off contract. I think these guys are going to want to come back, and I think Artie started it a little bit, and Julian, that they're going to go, we can't necessarily play for our island because some of them aren't eligible for Tonga or Samoa and stuff yet, but let's all come back and play for Moana Pacifica. Because if you got guys like Artie, Nani, and there's Augustine Pulu's another one that's overseas at the moment, Shannon Frizzell. If you start bringing these big names back, one, it's going to grow the younger players coming through, and two, it's going to give you a pretty good team.
Yeah.
I know Mwanga's got another year over where he is.
In Japan, yep.
Yep. So, but he could be another one that comes back 2027.
Be huge. On the Australian side, Tane Edmund looks like he's going to be a Brumby. That looks to be pretty much locked in.
Do we call that?
You said months ago, yeah. Thoughts on this? I thought the old young Meredith went all right, but obviously Tane's going to be their preference.
Tane.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Tane.
We call him Tane now.
Yeah.
Look, I think he got a little bit mucked around at the Tars this year.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see him get dropped because I didn't think he was the problem early on, especially when they were winning those home games. So I could see why he's moving, and I think going into a system like the Brumbies, we saw what happened when he went to in a system like Harbour, really got him going, and he was playing great footy. Goes to the Brumbies, I think we're going to get the best out of him again because he's got all the skill set and talent to be a good footballer. Like he was in the Wallabies at the end of last year.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good move for him, and I think maybe a change of scenery away from family is what he needs to sort of elevate his game to the next level and be that test level 10 we need.
I like it. And Geordie, I come to you. Bit of mail this week. Jake Gordon is the man they're talking about be the Wallabies captain for this Lions series. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I think he's been around. He's a good leader. He plays really good footy. I don't know why this discussion hasn't really been had sooner, to be honest. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think I really like the brand of footy he plays. I think he carries himself really well in terms of like a leader. The way he sort of, from the very little interactions I've seen with other players and staff and people, he does that really well. I think he's a really good role model for sort of those younger kids coming up, and being a Lions year, where there's going to be a lot of eyes on Australian rugby. And if you, like rugby aside, if you're looking for someone to just be that sort of, that role model, that poster boy, I can't think of many other blokes in there that would be up to that at the moment. So yeah, big fan.
So that means obviously Jake's going to be a preference at 9, probably Tay off the bench. Was that how you see that? Or?
I think it should have been that anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless if he got the captaincy or not.
Okay, cool.
I just think his box kick and his passing is what separates the two of them. Tate's obviously got the X factor, but I think he can bring that X factor off the bench at the back end of games. The interesting thing for me is Harry Wilson losing his captaincy. Does that mean they're not convinced he's the guy at 8?
I think that's what tells you as well. It tells you that back row, what
Which
they're doing.
tells me someone, like I said last week, is on my bolter thing before you somehow stuffed up the technical side of it. Pete Samu.
Yeah. It opens the door, doesn't it?
I think it opens the door for him to get selected and be in that starting side with Valentini and I think Fraser McWright, because that is a versatile back row. Yeah. I think Valentini and Wilson can be a little bit too similar. Yeah. You get a guy with Samu who can sort of be a bit different. I think it really gives some versatility in that back row and makes it exciting to watch.
So you're saying Valentini and McWright, Pete Samu?
Yeah, well, I still think Harry Wilson's in the equation.
Yeah.
But I think it's those four. But that could be something they're looking at. Like, I think, Harry Wilson, while he was good on the end of season tour, we've seen the form Pete Samu's been in, and Harry Wilson's been out most of this year injured. So I think they'll all be gunning for those sort of things.
I think he's a bit underdone a little bit, Harry, at the moment. All right, you mentioned it. We had a bit of an issue last week. But let's get to our Wallaby bolter. Tyler, who are you looking at?
Pete Samu was obviously my first one. But the other one who I think's had a really good season for the Brumbies is Ryan Lonergan at halfback. And I think he's that third halfback in that Wallaby squad. I don't think we've seen enough out of Nick White this year. Haven't seen enough out of Isaac Fines. Got a little bit out of Teddy Wilson, the reserve halfback for the Tars, and I guess same for Woodamoo, old Kalani Thomas up at the Reds. But I think he's started every game. He's led that Brumbies team well, and I think he's the third string halfback in Australian rugby at the moment.
Good move. Geordie.
I think I said Harry Potter.
You did
last week. Yeah, I still really like him.
Yeah.
Like I think he adds a little bit of something on the wing. He gets his job done. He's a tough fella. But when moments are needed, he pulls out, for a lack of a better word, a bit of magic.
Sad thing is, I didn't even have him as a bolter. I just had him as my starting winger.
Yeah.
Is he starting? Actually, don't. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd put him over Callaway.
There we go.
On current form.
Yeah.
Anyone else you had? I sort of your man. You sort of brought to my attention Lockie Anderson. Is he asking the questions in the wider squad? Do you think big body? He's had a good season
at the moment. I think he had a lot of really good moments this year, but then he had a lot of really quiet games. And I think at that next level, you can't afford to have those sort of off weeks.
I can't put him in for anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think he's the best winger at the Reds.
You're saying Felipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. For me, on the same vein of the back row, Nick Champion de Crepney. I reckon he'll make his debut for the Wallabies this year. The big man for the Force. Had a great year. I reckon he'll make his debut. First year for the Force. Yeah. I like him. As a 6, 7, 8, he can sort of a bit versatile.
Yeah, I'd probably put if I was putting him in, I'd probably put him at 6. I think.
Yeah, I can make you.
Simplify his game a little bit and just let him run and carry and
Who misses out?
yeah.
That's the hard thing when you have a bolter.
Yeah.
It's who's missing out.
Yeah.
If I look at that squad, and Tizano, McWright, who's the other one? We had Pete Samu, Valentini.
Wilson's in the mix.
I don't. If they're not looking at Tom Hooper, because he's going overseas.
Yeah, he's had a great year though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Lock? I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough.
That's the other thing Tom Hooper has.
funny,
He's versatile.
There we go. So, and the final sort of thing I want to touch on here, I want to do this. So, on the spot, boys, I want to go each back and forth. So, you want your Wallaby back line. I'll go 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll do the same thing for the All Blacks. Off the cusp. Quick fire.
Where we both say 9?
No.
No, one each.
So, this is your team for the test match. What's your 9, Geordie?
Jake.
10,
Noah Lalicio.
11,
Flippo.
12,
Leonard Cattell.
13.
Hunter.
Hunter at 13, 14.
Harry Potter. He's missed the big signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've missed the big signing at 13. I thought you had this. He's been out injured.
Well,
so I
unless
understand.
you're saying for 15, who's your fullback?
Joey.
Suoli'i.
Yeah.
You like him at 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Over the best fullback in
Because Tyler
Australia.
likes him at 13.
You can't not have Tom Wright starting at fullback.
Oh, yeah.
True. Good point.
Oh,
This is why I've said all year
Yep.
the Waratahs need to be playing Suoli'i at 13. He runs lines like a 13. He defends like a 13.
But then what do you do with Hunter?
He doesn't make it.
Really?
I don't think he's been in enough form, and I thought that Len Ikatel, Joseph Suoli'i midfield was outstanding.
That would be a
They were great.
Yeah, I like it. You said Suoli'i though, so it's good. That's why I do it. Quick fire. Love it.
End of year, that midfield combination though was outstanding.
He was.
and that's
Yeah.
why they were competitive on that Northern tour.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Len at 12. He's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go All Blacks. Let's go your 9.
There's only one.
Why
correct
look at
answer.
me like this?
Hurricanes.
You reckon?
He's been one of the
Best 9 in the world.
player of
is
the
Devon
year.
Roy at the
Do you
moment.
reckon?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm asking you. You're the
Yeah,
9
okay,
expert.
Yeah. All right.
Who's saying?
Roy, go.
Thank you. 10.
Slim. D-Mac.
D-Mac. Okay. 11.
7.
12.
I don't know if he's actually coming back. It's Geordie Barrett. In my head, it's Geordie Barrett.
Yeah, is he
But
play- no,
he
but-
didn't play Super, so I'll go Tavatawa Nawa.
Okay, 12. Right.
Oh.
13.
Oh, this is tough, eh?
All Blacks is tough. 'cause
Yeah,
you
no,
can go
good.
either way.
I don't know.
Just for that French test. Riko, is he in the mix?
Yeah.
You going Umanga Jensen had a good year?
Nah, he's
I'd
gone.
go Rico.
He's already put his hand up for some more.
True. Who going? You Riko?
Yeah,
Holds his
Riko.
spot.
Yeah.
14 TC.
Oh, I was actually going to put Rico at 14 if he went Billy Proctor.
Mm.
Rico back to the wing. Who am I missing? That's a key winger here.
Caleb Clark.
Oh, Caleb Clark,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And 15.
Well, injury.
He played on the weekend.
Will Jordan. Did he play?
Yeah.
Oh,
Unreal.
He's back.
Yeah, Will Jordan.
Some that didn't
That was
play.
quick.
Yeah. Some that didn't play very many minutes. He was outstanding again on the
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
Weapon. There we go. I like that, boys. Quick fire. Let's talk about the semi-finals, boys. Anything else I had on here? No, that's pretty much it for that. Super Rugby semi-finals. Crusaders $1.42. The Blues $2.70. The Lions $5.50. Always a good rivalry. It's gonna be cold again Friday night.
Yeah. I think I know Tyler's about to look up the teams for us, but
No,
They're not up yet.
haven't
They get
got
released
them yet.
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
oh yeah, it's Tuesday. Yeah, Crusaders I think are still that team in form, and they're just rolling and rolling and rolling. And I think you could put them up against any team in the world at the moment, and they'd probably nearly do them. So Crusaders for me.
5.5.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Tyler Campbell. Blues any chance here?
I don't want the Satyrs to win.
Yeah, me neither. I want the Blues.
Like, I want the Blues to win because Crusaders have won too many and they had a bad year and now they're back in contention. You're like, you're just depressed thinking about it. But I do think they win here. I think Blues are competitive, but Crusaders forwards with Blackadder and everyone back on the I know it was the Reds, but they were unreal. They're just dominating. I think a big loss maybe Tamati Williams.
Yep.
But I think, Crusaders, but close. What's the line?
5.5.
I think Blues cover that line. I think Crusaders grind it out at home.
Yep. I'm going to join you. I reckon the Blues do keep it close. They're confident. I want the Crusaders to win. If I don't want the Crusaders to win, because I want O'Connor to win a comp, it'd be kind of cool. But then the other side's fuck, the Crusaders win again, so it's a lose-lose, really. But Crusaders win, Blues keep it close for me. Let's go the Chiefs, Brumbies, $1.22. The Chiefs, the Brumbies, $4. The Lions, 10.5. The Chiefs, will they lose 2 in a row at home, boys?
I don't think they've lost 2 in a row all year.
Yeah.
And they've only lost one. They've only lost one game at home now. The Blues, like they were undefeated at home up until that point.
It's going to be, it's going to be a hell of a game. Can the Brumbies somehow, boys?
Brumbies can stay in it.
Yep.
We've talked about like that being their sort of thing. They just stick around in games, but Chiefs after a loss, Quinn Tupai looking like he's back, Luke Jacobson looking like he's back. I think Chiefs win. I'll go Brumbies to cover.
Keep it close. If they lose this, is this third year in a row they've been knocked out in the semis?
2.
Brumbies.
Yep. And Chiefs have already lost 3 finals in a row.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
if they make the final, they could be looking at 4 losses in a row.
Oh, jeez. Geordie Lanac.
Yeah, it's much the same. Chiefs to win, but Brumbies to cover. I think.
Brumbies to cover is like a respect thing, I think. For them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like they just stay in it, and they deserve to be where they are now. I think it's unfortunate that the way that the tables have ended up, like, it's really good that they've kind of split the two sort of favourites. Obviously.
Yeah, they were going to have to play someone.
Yeah.
Eventually, you got to beat the best teams
You
to
do.
win.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So yeah, that's my thinking. I think it'll be a bloody good game, and I think the cold, and if it is wet, I think it'll probably actually suit the Brumbies more than it will the Chiefs. But I think the Chiefs are really strong at the moment.
Lovely. For the sake of the argument, I'll back the boys from Canberra, get it done.
didn't back the Reds, but you're back in the Canberra.
Well, I think they're more of a chance. Brumbies to win for me. Brumbies plus
Shit,
at 10.
I hope they sack you as game day announcer next year.
Excellent, thanks. Your support is overwhelming as always.
Support. You're talking about support. You're not even supporting your own team.
Mate, they're gone, mate. Focus on the Brumbies now. All right.
You didn't even support them when they were in.
Yeah, lost every week.
You're talking about, I talked to Fluke and how excited you are about
Did
the
my-
Reds guys.
did
And
my
soon you get
ass.
a chance to go against
And then he
them.
messages and goes,
Fucking
God, they
get fucked."
suck.
Mate,
don't
tell you
know
how
why
I
I'm
see it,
here.
all right? All right.
Those messages, he goes, oh, they suck, man. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with these guys up here.
He goes, I wish I wasn't born in
Yeah, I
Queensland.
wish I wasn't here.
That's a crazy take.
I'll
Wow.
screenshot and send it. I'll post it on the. I'll have to hack the Instagram.
I
and
wish
post
I
it.
wasn't born in Queensland. That's a big stretch, my friend.
You saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, cool. Good chat. Let's go now. The URC final, boys. Leicester $1.17. The Bulls $4.75. The Lions 11.5.
Look, I really want the Bulls to win. Just so the exact
choke.
Huh?
Leicester just choke.
Yeah, the exact opposite. The exact same
Again,
reason
yeah.
why we don't want the Crusaders to win. Like they've just been that powerhouse. But I think they will win, just because they're in such good form. They've got 12 lines.
They've got
in
Geordie
that one
Barrett
squad.
in there. Yeah.
Kiwi hate South Africa. All Black playing for Leicester. The Villains go in there next year. Backing Leicester all the way.
The number 11.5. Few points.
Nah, Bulls cover that.
Where is it?
It's in UK. I mean Ireland.
At RDS? Oh no, it won't be
I
at
think-
RDS. It'll be at Aviva.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
One that doesn't get. I saw there was something about them not getting big crowds.
Aviva. Yeah. No, I reckon Leinster to win and to go above. I'm going to go for like a 15 plus.
Yeah. I'm going to join you. I reckon they do a job. Tyler reckons the Bulls keep it close. All right, let's go to the English Premiership. Bath $1.20. The Leicester Tigers $1.20. $4.25. The Lions 10.5. Can the Czech win a comp over England?
Which one's got Finn Russell?
Bath.
How they're winning.
You don't like Andre Pollard, mate?
Oh, give me Finn Russell. He's going to be ready to get that starting jersey for the Lions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bath are going to do a number on them. I think Leicester will keep it close for 60 minutes. Like they will just they will try and grind Bath into the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But Bath are really good at making stuff come out of nothing and coming like they're a team that will counter on little mistakes. And I think that's all it takes, especially in that sort of a game. Like one or two slip ups from Leicester, especially when they're going to be tired and just trying to almost just kill the game. They'll get it. So Bath.
And who covers?
What's the line?
10.5.
In favour of Bath.
Leicester
Correct.
cover.
Yeah, I think Leicester will cover.
Yeah, I'm going to join you. Bath get it done. The Tigers keep it close. There we go. For our finals in English and URC. I'm not sure how much we want to touch on this, boys. Obviously, QPR, we know what happened. It was a tough day at the office.
And we'll touch on it.
Yeah, of course, we got to own our losses.
Yeah, obviously not an ideal day at the office for us, and always hard when you lose sort of your halfback in the warm up. But I don't know if he was actually hurt or just being a bitch.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, like West, they're just one of those teams when they get going and their passes stick in. They're a hard team to stop. We lost sort of 5 players in that first 20 minutes to injury, and got to shout out some of our boys who played 70 minutes of twos and then flowed on to play 80 minutes almost for us.
Mate, poor Lukey on one leg the whole game. Oh,
we had no one to bring on for him. So I've got to give credit to some of our boys, but yeah.
And Sammy
just
Dalton
tough
as well,
day.
just
Sammy
quiet.
Dolts, yep. Good
Yeah,
one.
He did
played
well
a full
when he
game
came
of twos, came on 70 minutes left of ones, came on as a winger, and scored a try.
Yep.
Did his job. Like, it was obviously up against some big boys running down his channel, and he was cleaning up scraps when players were leaking through. But yeah, a lot of grit from him. He's a great player, and I'm really happy for him to at least get that sort of shot in Prem grade, regardless if it's his preferred position or not.
More importantly, we've got to shout out West.
Yeah,
They were
mate.
good.
They were
Yeah.
class.
We
They
can
were great.
sit here and talk about these injuries and players that played this and did that, but West were outstanding. Glenn Vayu, obviously another big performance, arguably the best player in the comp. Actually, not even. I don't think it's arguable, but best player in the comp. And I heard he's actually off to Japan in the next few weeks.
Okay.
So thank God we don't have to verse him again if we make finals. But I think he's someone who definitely deserves that, and someone who I thought didn't get as many opportunities as he probably deserved at Super Rugby level.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, shout out to West though.
Yeah.
Quality team, informed team of the comp at the moment, and bit of a banger of a battle this week between them and East.
Another one, Angelo Smith too. He
Angelo
was
Smith,
unbelievable.
can throw an offload.
Yeah.
6'6", his offloads everywhere. He was tough to contain.
Scary.
Obviously the bye this week, boys. Good little chance to freshen up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Needed.
Needed.
Yeah.
Well needed.
Stretch your backs this week, guys.
Yeah, everyone stretch your backs. Get the heat packs out. It's getting cold.
Yep. How's your ribs now? You're right.
Oh, they're there.
They're there, still in there.
Strained bicep.
Oh god. Yeah. Actually,
hyper
someone said the
extended
night. He goes,
elbow.
"Look at this," and his biceps swollen as fuck. Like Jesus Christ.
Oh mate, that wasn't from the swelling. That was just normal.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry, distracted. My bad.
It's gout.
Just don't let
Gout.
it.
It's just gout
Gout in
leaking,
the muscle.
leaking down from the shoulder into the bicep.
Mate, I was like, looked at it. I was like, oh shit, here we go again. Something else.
Don't wear stripes. All right, let's go around the grounds. Try Opataya, boys. See that win in the boxing?
Did you just try real hard to be funny before?
What do you mean?
It was actually kind of good one.
It was kind of good one. You just didn't back yourself.
Yeah, you didn't.
What are you talking
said it
about?
quite.
Don't wear stripes.
Oh, I didn't. Honest.
Look at him now trying to play it up.
That's
He's
what
real
Joy
proud of
Linac. That's
himself.
what Joy Linac saying.
Yeah.
You're looking good, mate. Looking slim. Can we talk about some sports?
I wish Joe. I wish Joe Pattaya put one on your chin.
Oh, I wouldn't. He'd fucking kill me, mate.
Yeah, he'd look at me and I'd fall over.
Yeah, he did it almost at Bond when he came down the other day. It
Yeah, that was scary.
petrifying.
No, but yeah,
Round
I don't
five,
think he'll
broken
ever
jaw.
lose in that fight.
Yeah.
And he's got such good mindset for an athlete.
Yeah.
And you saw Sonny Bill talking about it, like as well. Like he's just one of those guys who I think can be Australia's greatest boxer ever, and probably will be the way he's tracking.
Isn't the issue no one wants to fight him now? Like, isn't he sort of like no one wants to fight him? That's what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't want to fight him.
The only one who's actually the problem he's going to run into, he's never going to fight the top cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Which is what's his name that's got the heavyweight title at the moment.
I wouldn't know.
Usyk, Ukrainian fella.
Okay.
That just beat Fury. So was the cruiserweight. One of the cruiserweight titles went up. One of the heavyweight titles now. Like he's unreal. So if Opataya doesn't fight him, you're never really going to sit there and say he's the best cruiserweight. But Opataya is terrifying.
Yeah.
When he was down at Bolton the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously sister plays for our women's team.
Yeah, sister plays for our women's team, and I'm standing there. I was actually geeing up some of the Colts to try and just.
Mate.
Dude, I was looking at the back of his neck and I was like, that is the same thickness as my quad.
Yeah. Weapon.
Did you notice that?
That's why he doesn't get concussed, mate. They still the
Insane,
neck
bro.
strength. Unbelievable and hell of an athlete, and I just
I
love
like
the
the way
mindset he's got.
I like the way he operates too. Like he doesn't really call out guys. He just sort of speaks well. There's no dickhead policy. I like it.
And if he does call you out, you know you're
in trouble.
he's not happy with you.
Start
Yeah.
organising life insurance.
Let's get the NBA finals update from
Actually, on boxing,
Oh yeah, what do you got?
who's winning, Sonny Bill or Paul Gallen?
I'm SBW personally.
Are you
Oh,
sure? I
dude.
thought you were the type of guy that charged $10 for people to come around for a barbecue.
Mate, you come here every week and destroy my couch and drop food everywhere, and you know.
And you make money from us being here.
Do I? Where's that money? Love to see it.
You not get paid.
Wait, Geordie, Geordie, shut up. Geordie, shut up.
All right, thank you guys. End of podcast.
I would love to see Sunnyville do an absolute number, but I think Paul Gallen would be a seriously tough character to knock out.
Yeah, I don't think they're both not going to get knocked out.
I don't think no one's getting knocked out, but I think Sonny Bill will be too technical for him.
Yeah.
But Sonny Bill's a way better boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Paul Gallen fought? That maybe Mark Hunt.
Yeah, that's his big one.
Yeah.
That's his big one.
Yeah.
Like a 50-year-old Mark Hunt.
Yeah. I hope it. For, Union Camp, SBW, get it done.
I think it'll be a pretty
You
rubbish
can't
fight.
claim him as union. He's league.
You reckon?
Yeah.
He started in league.
Yeah, but he finished in Union.
All I think
World Cup winner?
Nah, I think of
He
Didn't
went
he
back.
play with the Roosters as finish?
Oh, did you go back at the end? Fuck, it's long.
I don't know. That's
so
what
long
I think
ago.
he's played. He's about 50-50 in
Yeah,
both.
okay.
We can claim Brad Thorne though.
Yeah, Thorny. NBA, mate. We're locked up. One apiece. Pacers in
I think
Oklahoma.
Thunder are going from here on out.
You reckon?
Pacers might sneak another one, but I just think the Thunder are too deep, too young,
They
too talented.
destroyed them yesterday. It
Yeah.
was ugly.
They were destroying them in the first game and kind of just let the Pacers grind their way back.
Yeah.
And Halliburton hits a ridiculous shot. But I can't see them doing that 4 times, the Pacers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Thunder get this done.
Okay. Rugby League Origin teams got announced. Cameron Munster's going to be the captain of Queensland.
yes, 16th,
Tell
16th
it.
captain.
Yep.
Hell of a bender after they lose next week.
Oh, okay. You don't believe in it?
I don't think they've got the talent.
Are you happy with the DC dropping? Would you do that if you were coach?
It's here's the thing, as we just talked about it with the Union. It is hard to be a ball player when your pack is getting dominated. They changed their forward pack up too. Kurt Capewell ain't bringing the Kurt Capewell, as good as he's been for the Warriors, is not changing that forward pack.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Nana was your best forward, and he's been dropped to the bench. Your second best forward was Pat Carrigan, and he's been dropped to the bench.
Is he really?
Yeah, Trent Liero has been starting at lock.
True. I haven't seen
I
action.
don't know if Billy Slater's just freaked out,
Yeah, jeez.
but it's real interesting. Like, I would have put Ruben Cotter on the bench.
Is Horsburgh in?
Nope.
I thought it would have
Nah,
might
he's
have been
19th
good.
man. The I tell you who I would put in there. He's good for a hit and run. Ezra Mam.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's good from you, though. That's real
Sorry.
good.
Yeah.
Take that as you will. Any thoughts on this Origin, Geordie?
Yeah, I don't know. I think as Tyler just said, like I don't know what Billy is think. I don't think he has panicked and made these decisions lightly. I don't whether they're trying to switch up a whole game plan and maybe trying to move the Blues around a little bit more than try and confront them with that up front because that clearly didn't work in game 1. That might be the possibility, but yeah, it's going to be a very tough game for a Queenslander, which hurts me to say, but
So you're both on the Blues to win.
No, we don't want them to
I
win.
don't
No, sorry. Who are you picking? Is my point.
The Blues.
yeah, the Blues.
Thank you.
I just think they're
Class above.
yeah.
Yeah.
They swapped Hammer and Valentine Holmes around as well.
Oh, God.
I don't know. There's a lot going on
Yeah.
there where it's like, is this team different enough to win, or should you have stuck with your guns? Someone that's won heaps of Origin series, like Tommy Dearden was great when he come on, but dropping your skip is a big call.
Big call. Oh, Money Munsters, the man going to steer the ship. Finally, I had French Open tennis. I'm sure you got none of this. Coco Golf and Alcaraz, 5.5 hours. Just any of this. Did you follow the tennis at all?
I'm pretty sure you just made up words.
You don't watch tennis, mate? Anyway, it's
What
quite
did you
good.
say? The Cocobella
Coco
Open?
Golf, mate.
Is this Roland Morris?
She
or
won.
Is that what it's
Carlos
called?
Alcaraz.
Is that the thing?
Mate, get a bit of culture in you, would you?
Dude, I don't know. Tennis, I just don't get. I can appreciate it. Like any athlete who's going to go out and play for 5.5 hours, like you just
Yeah,
said, is
no thanks.
out of control.
Appreciate them. It's not something I'll sit there and like watch 5
Yeah.
hours of.
Well, something you will appreciate. Reen Stowers back playing.
Yeah.
Former podcast member used to sit right there. He'll be back very shortly. Man of the match on the weekend.
Yeah?
Scored an unbelievable
Yeah.
try. Like, it was a team try, but an unbelievable try.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'll clip it underneath you right now.
You want me to go through it?
It'll be right there.
They get a turnover about 5 minutes from their goal line. Goal on the line, make a little break, give it to Ryan with a drawing pass. He goes off the left boot, about 40 metres infield. Not even a chip for someone. It sort of bounces up. The halfback gets it, throws back into the hooker, I think it is. They're that way.
Yep.
I can't remember. And then Ryan comes flying back through and scores under the post.
Mate,
There you
unreal.
go.
Working on
I've
the
only
ball.
watched it once, so I'm trying
That's
to
good. You did well.
put it through my head.
That was nice.
But unreal try. 100 metres to a few passes, a chip, well, not even a chip, a punt and chase.
Yeah, literally.
And a bit of good support play, and the pink headgear scores again.
50 points to 5. Dominant performance, but they just fell short of the finals for Ryan. And did you see his post-match interview?
Yeah, I did.
Fuck, he nailed that, I reckon.
Yeah.
Media train that boy.
Yeah, you've been doing something well with that kid.
Oh, mate, you don't even know his first podcast.
Oh, he would. He has come a long
I need
way.
to go back and find it and watch it.
Yeah, I need to go in the archives and find
Yeah.
it too. It was something else, wasn't it, Tyler? It was something else.
Yeah. Oh, do you need support now? You need me now?
Anyway, so that's all I've got. Ryan will be back in the country soon, which is good to see. Back on the pod with all of us together. That'll be quite fun.
Are we all going to be here?
I think so, yeah. Who's going to sit in? You gonna,
Well,
I'll go middle.
Well, yeah, you guys can negotiate how you want to do that, but yeah, we'll work that
I
out.
think Reece should get his original spot back.
I like that from you. It's
Yeah.
good.
all right, we go from heaviest to lightest down there then.
Yeah. The couch will just be like,
Oh yeah.
What
Nothing.
was I saying? Did you watch CM Punk versus Cena announced for the very last time?
Is it? That's gonna be the
Came out today.
okay.
They're going to fight. Jey Uso lost his title today on Raw to Gunther.
I saw R-Truth came out of nowhere.
Yeah, R-Truth. They had some great marketing.
Yeah.
Released him, put it all on Twitter, and then he comes back and attacks John Cena.
It's great.
And now he come out today. He's no longer R-Truth.
Really?
He's Ron Truth, whatever his last name is.
I can't keep up. Do you see this?
no.
You need to actually.
no
You
idea.
might actually have a good back
I
if
know-
you explore some of your.
I know
horizons.
who
We should
CM
watch
Punk
that
is,
last
and
one
I know
together,
who
that'd be
John
good.
Cena is. That's it. I know who CM Punk is, and I know John Cena. That's it.
That's half the battle. It's good. All right.
Is John Cena still rolling the long denims? Like
Yeah.
the jorts?
Yeah, the jorts.
He kind of changes the heel now.
Hey?
Still got the jorts. There's a face and a heel. Face are your good guys. Heels are your bad guys.
Bad guy.
Right. So what's he now? He's a bad guy.
Yep.
Was he a good guy?
For 20-something years.
Dude, I don't know.
He's like Tyler. Think of it. Tyler's the heel of our podcast.
Yeah.
You're the face.
He's
Yeah.
not the face. If anything, he's just a jobber. He doesn't know what that means.
No idea what we're talking
Good.
about.
Anyone
It
that
didn't
understands
sound
that
good.
reference will understand.
He
it.
still brushed when you said he got a little bitch not playing the weekend. He still got over that one.
I'm rattled.
That's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
Friendship of 15 years. Get that into your son.
I don't take it back either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Alrighty, boys. That's it. Anything else?
Ban the sternum law. Thank you, Double Take.
How many did you get in the weekend? How many did you get pinged by?
He didn't make any tackles because they just kept running through us. So
Actually, I think I had the highest tackle count. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
6.
he was working. Anyway, some big things in the works for hopefully the Lions series as well. We'll release that as we go. Rugby semis this week, final next week. Week off for you boys. Enjoy the week.
thank you.
We'll see you next
do.
week. Lovely.
Sounds
See ya.
great.
Here it.